Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple fractals that are going to completely blow your mind and perspectives on exactly how high Bitcoin can go this cycle. Many people are still on the fence trying to decide whether we're bullish or not, even though for 3 straight years we've maintained higher highs and higher lows. During the points where everybody starts to get confused, oftentimes that's a bottom, and in my opinion, these are going to be some charts that are going to perfectly explain why we're all about to get filthy rich and how we can all about maximizing that profit potential over the next couple months. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. If you guys want to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, get some extra educational content, links are going to be provided for you in the description for that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And with that being said, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are jumping into today's video talking about Bitcoin. I wanted to cover Bitcoin today because once again, I'm still seeing so much confusion inside the market, and I think that the best thing that I can do for my community out there, for all of the people that watch my channel, is simply just explain things from a perspective of somebody who's been through the cycles, as somebody who really doesn't get too emotional no matter what the price action is doing. And I'm here to share with you guys a couple fractals that I really think is going to blow your mind, because these are fractals that once I saw, I was already bullish and I already had my reasons for being bullish and I shared them with you guys in prior videos. But once I saw these, it was just even more data to go off of, and I wanted to share them with you guys because this is going to be some really easy data points to understand that you don't have to have a ton of trading experience to actually just follow along with. And so we're going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin chart. I actually saw this on Facebook inside of a Facebook group, and I thought it was super interesting because what it is doing is comparing the cycles that we've seen. So far we've had 4. Well, 4 were inside of number 4, right? So this was the first cycle, and what we can see here is we kind of go through this contracting period of consolidation. We break up, we kind of make like an ascending triangle formation, and then that's what takes us to our big blow off top in that cycle. Now obviously each cycle is going to be less parabolic because there's way more money in the cycle each time. Now if we come over here to number 2, we follow pretty much the same rule of thumb. Now kind of the way that I look at the cycles is you get these first 2 leg ups, and then that's what takes us to the blow off top. Leg up, blow off top, right? Leg up, blow off top. Leg up. We're missing the blow off top here inside of our 4th cycle. I've been very confident in saying that this cycle will see a massive blow off top because there's more money in this cycle than ever before. There's more on-ramps for noobs and beginner investors to get into crypto. And not only that, guys, but if you even consider the stock market, for the first time ever in the last 5 years through Robinhood, we now have retail investors jumping into these markets like we've never seen before. And we saw what happened with GameStop in the stock, in AMC stock, when finally retail investors were able to short squeeze certain institutions. In my opinion, because we have these on-ramps, this crypto cycle will be so much bigger. Because guys, I was here for 2017. I remember what this blow off top looked like. It was a really crazy time. And I think about that. And back then, crypto was literally a graveyard. There was almost nothing back in those days. Everything was very shady, scammy, like there just wasn't a lot of infrastructure back then. And so in this cycle, we've seen 2 very big impulses. Both of the impulses this cycle have been really, really big. And it's actually been a lot. We've seen Bitcoin go up in quicker and bigger impulses than we've seen in some of the prior cycles even in cycle number 2 and in cycle number 3. Cycle number 4 had the first beginning impulses, and they actually happened a little bit quicker. Bitcoin was on a faster pace than our 3 cycle until we went into this move here, right? So we're actually extending inside of this cycle, but nothing has changed for me in my trading plan, right? I've always been very confident in calling for this blow off top. Originally, it was at the end of the year. Obviously, I was wrong on that. But the thing is, guys, all we've ever done is maintain higher highs and higher lows. I've continued to dollar cost average. I haven't sold hardly anything. Took some profits, but that was when everything was way up. And so I'm just holding right here. Because, guys, based off of 3 cycles that we've had, and not only that, but we're already following inside of this 4th one identically to the prior ones. The only thing we're missing here is the blow off top. And so I always think it's really silly when people say, oh, you were wrong about the end of the year. Oh, there's never going to be a blow off top. Oh, we already had the blow off top. These are just people that just don't know what a blow off top is. These are people that haven't been through a full cycle. And these are people that just really aren't profitable. You guys got to remember that, out of the 100% of people that invest, only about 80 to 90% of those are losing. There's only anywhere from 10 to 20% that are profitable. So the very biggest majority of people that you're hearing from really aren't even that profitable. Now, when you're watching influencers on Twitter, certain traders, or on YouTube, now those can be outliers because a lot of those guys really are profitable. There's some exceptional traders and analysts out there. I follow a number of them, and I know them to be profitable based off results. And so this is the thing, guys. All of those people I follow, all of my friends, even my personal analysis, all shows that we're going to see one more big move. Now, you could say that maybe that shows that the whole crowd is counter trading. You could maybe write that off as the whole crowd is kind of overcrowding that trade. But personally, I just don't think so, because you're kind of focusing in on such a niche community being crypto that when you look inside this community, you can't really compare it, because what you're looking at is a bunch of really smart people that are way ahead of the rest of the curve. So when you're comparing that tiny group of people, you're already with such slim pickings, and then those people in that group are already a little bit more advanced than most people for them to even find this opportunity, right? And so I just want you guys to remember, this move that's coming is going to be the big one. We want to hold until that happens, and we want to make sure that we're taking profits when that happens, right? That's where we're going to make the most of our money. Now, guys, let's come over here and take a look at another fractal made by my friend TechDev. You guys can go ahead and follow him at techdev_52. He made this really cool fractal comparing the Dow Jones and Bitcoin today. Now, we're not going to talk too much about the RSI, even though it's insanely similar how correlated these two are. But this was the Dow Jones back in the 90s. We made a very similar consolidation pattern where we make this high, we get the bearish divergence in here on this high, we make this correction, and then we kind of go through this period. This created more of an inverse head and shoulder formation, whereas Bitcoin didn't really get a right shoulder in here. It's been just a little bit more choppy action, kind of on a trend line, right? But what we see here, the Dow Jones made this fake out, attempt to break above this EMA, and then it fell back down below. This was a fake out, right? Even though we went back below the resistance of the moving average, we held support and broke back up above. Now, this is exactly the same sort of consolidation that Bitcoin's in. I mean, you could argue that it's different, but I mean, the moving averages are lining up the same. It's all pretty much the exact same market structure. Even the divergences on the RSI are the same. Now, the thing that this is pointing out is that we're literally right here. This is the spring-loaded bounce. We got the fake out. We went back below resistance, and now this was the fake out that we need before we get the spring-loaded bounce that takes us, in my opinion, probably up to the 100 moving average, which would be about 55,000. If we can get back up to that level, I would expect somewhat of a little bit of a retest of the this moving average, probably about 50,000. But regardless, guys, it doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to predict price or anything. I'm here to share with you guys that there's a number of different charts that I can compare that show similar consolidations to what we're seeing. And all of these are pointing out to be more bullish. And of course, I have a natural bullish bias. I've always had that bias. Even when the market was in the low 200s for Ethereum and Bitcoin was at, $5,000, I still had a lot of confidence that we were going to be going up. And so when I see charts like this that have only gone up, and then we're seeing Bitcoin repeating the same fractals, it just gives me more confidence that we're going to see this thing play out. Now, the next one I wanted to share with you guys is actually the exact same chart that I just shared with you from TechDev, but this is actually called the Justin Mommy Sentiment Cycle. And it just goes into that exact same fractal, just a little bit more analysis. And this is very similar to what we're seeing inside of Bitcoin today. Now, where we're at today is anxiety, where we hit resistance, we correct. This is called the aversion. And then what we should expect to see next is the point in which we break out of this resistance, go into the denial phase, and then that's where we go return of confidence. That's where Bitcoin rebounds in its trend, where, we might go through a little bit more chop, but regardless, this thing's going to rally upwards of probably 50,000, I would say about right here at this lower high. And then from there, we would probably get somewhat of a semi-correction. But the thing to understand here, guys, is none of the short term matters, because we all know that what comes on the upside of this is the blow off top, right? And you guys know my targets are $250,000 to $290,000 per Bitcoin. I'm going to continue to stick to that. You know, obviously I was really wrong in the end of the year blow off top playing out. But once again, guys, I was merely just following the 4-year cycles, and that's what the 4-year cycles showed. What I told you guys when that happened was that if we weren't at a blow off top, or if we weren't at a point in which I saw that this was a true cycle top, I was going to hold, even if it invalidated my time frames. And so that's exactly what I've done. I've continued to hold. I've continued to buy more stuff. And I'm very, very confident that what we're about to see on the upside is a very big move. And you need to prepare now because it's still at these low points. We're in the accumulation range. Now, one chart I wanted to share with you guys is going to be the BTC dominance as well as FBTC pair. This was a chart I've drawn for a little while now. We pretty much rejected at the level I was watching. We didn't quite hit this resistance, which kind of gives me a little bit of an unsurety of what is actually going to be happening from here. So I'm going to give you guys two different ways that I see the market playing out. Now, obviously, the first one is that this was a rejection. We didn't come all the way up to the trend line. We just stopped early. And then this will get bearish continuation as we fall to new lows. That was obviously scenario A. Now, scenario B is going to be a little bit different. This is something that I have seen play out a number of times inside of descending triangles. And that's where the market will actually bounce. It'll break out above the resistance of the descending triangle. It'll rally up to the top of the resistance, and then it'll fake out and fall again. This is something that I've seen happen a lot, and it's very similar to even what we saw right here, right? This reminds me a lot of this move over here. So during this initial sell-off inside of the Bitcoin dominance, when we peaked in about August of 2019, we were making lower lows and lower highs all the way through. And then everybody, including myself, thought that we would reject here and fall for a massive low, or that we would actually reject below this and then fall right there. And then we didn't. We flipped this level and went all the way back up to retest the very top of the range right there, right? And that's exactly what I think could happen again. These markets are designed to chop you out. And so if this happens, just remember that it's not necessarily a confirmed breakout, and it means that Bitcoin dominance is just going to moon. It's probably just a fake out before we go lower. I fully expect that we're going to be going to new lows inside of this chart. Now, if we come over here and look at the FBTC chart, it's going to look a little bit different because remember, this is just the inverse of that last chart, the Bitcoin dominance. Now, what we would expect to see here, if that is the case and we do actually fall, or in this case, Bitcoin dominance makes a high up to retest the top of the resistance, then in that case, FBTC would probably fall back down to about 0.55 on this, which if I draw a support line, it would be like here, right? That's where I would expect to find support for ETH, and then that's where, you know, we would probably start the massive parabolic move in the cycle. Because you guys got to keep in mind, when we're looking at this chart, Bitcoin dominance is sitting and consolidating right near those all-time lows. This is a bearish continuation pattern because this has always been in a downtrend. We have always been in a downtrend for Bitcoin dominance, forever. It always has. And so when we're throwing up these patterns and we're once again sitting at all-time lows, this is where the true alt season is going to happen because this is where Bitcoin dominance goes into price discovery on the downside, right? This is bearish price discovery. During these periods is where the money comes in. And it was back here when Bitcoin dominance first sold through support that we saw that massive 2017 alt run. We haven't seen that this cycle because Bitcoin dominance has never broken and made a new all-time low. That's why we've never seen true alt season like we've all been talking about. And for you guys that haven't been around for the cycles, you guys don't know what true alt season looks like. You know, we got a little taste of it with DeFi. We've seen a little taste of it with the NFTs, but I'm here to tell you guys it's nothing even close to what true alt season looks like in a blow off top. True alt season is where you're seeing altcoins go up 100x, 1000x in a matter of a month, and it's happening all over the place. You could buy anything and it's going to pump 2, 3, 4x. That's the blow off top in true alt season, and we just haven't seen that yet. And so no matter what happens with this consolidation, it's going to lead us to an all-time low. And when that all-time low happens is when we do finally get to see alt season. True alt season for the first time where altcoins go into price discovery. They have massive parabolic cycles. And all of the altcoin holders, me, you guys, we all make a lot of money in the process. That is what we're getting ready for. That's why I've gotten back in the habit of uploading. While we're at these low points, it's very important that I come in here and I encourage my community to continue to focus on the big picture, continue to focus on how to actually make money profiting inside these markets by having a strong conviction on what is taking place. And I'm here to tell you guys, I could not be more confident that what we're about to see is a massive alt season, much bigger than anything we've seen. And all of us that have been taking the time to DCA, all of us that have been sitting here throughout the cycle of the last 2, 3, 4, 5+ years, now is the time where we're finally going to reap the rewards. And it's very important that you're not getting chopped up now, you're not making a bunch of dumb emotional mistakes, and that you're focusing on the big picture, because when this thing comes, it's going to happen so fast that if you weren't prepared for beforehand, you're just going to miss out. And I'd hate to see that happen, because I really want you guys to make the most amount of money possible. It's why I made this channel. I love you guys. I appreciate all of the support that I've been given. Even though the market corrected, even though I was wrong about the end of the year, I'm still very confident that you guys are going to be very thrilled with how the cycle plays out from here, and I'm going to be here to update you guys along every step of the way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys want to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are in the description. You guys can also sign up for my VIP core signals. Follow the trades that I take, whether it's NFT picks, whether it's altcoin, Bitcoin, whatever. I post all of the stuff inside the Discord, and you guys will get a lifetime access for a low fee. Go check it out. Links are in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.